Morning. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to tea time. How are you guys doing? Happy weekend. It's Saturday. I am so ready for this conversation this morning. I I'm still recovering from my last night. So the tea is there's lots of tea today, guys. There's lots of tea today. The tea is that we went out last night and it was girls' night out, and I used to live for girls' night out. I mean, back in the day when I was single, girls' night out used to be pretty regular, like maybe a couple times a week. It wasn't just on Fridays or Saturdays, right? But anywho, last night was girls' night out, and I haven't actually had a girls' night out in a while because I have been traveling so much, as you would know, and all my trips have been amazing. But literally, when you span August, September, October, November, 4 months, you go to US, Canada, UK, UAE. When you go to, in 4 months, I've been to 4 countries, 4 months, 4 countries, and 7 cities. Okay. So you know that it's just been like grind, not necessarily, settled in one place and having girls' night out with my girlfriends. And hey, what's going on, guys? I have to put on my glasses. So last night was girls' night out. I am still waking up. Okay, so let's just make that clear. I'm still getting up. I think I went to bed just a couple of hours ago. As a matter of fact, I was surprised that I was able to wake up because it was a night and I was dancing. Oh my gosh, I haven't danced in such a long time and I love to dance. So I don't know how many of y'all are recovering from your Friday night. Anybody recovering from Friday? Yeah, if you're recovering from Friday, then this is the conversation for you today. All right. You definitely want to be in this conversation because it's all about recovering from your past. And your past could literally be last night. Your past could be last night. Your last night could still be at your house. Just saying, right? So we're recovering from the past today. We are looking at the way that living in the past can be such a limiting thing for us, the way that sometimes we get caught up in who we were. And, our external lives are just an reflection of our inner selves. Okay. And so if you think about it, if your external life is a reflection of your inner self, then what that means is at different points in time, you are a different person because as you grow up, you learn, you get wiser, you change, you make different decisions, you want different things. And so living the life that you created 10 years ago today, like still trying to hold on to that person and those experiences, it does not serve you in your today experience. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about. No, we're talking about how you can miss out on things because you're so focused on the past experiences that you were, the past lovers that you had, the past jobs that you had, or the relationships that used to work for you that you wish they still did, the past friendships that you had. Like that's literally what we're going to be talking about today. And why we do it, because sometimes people tell you, oh, you need to move on from your past, you need to stop living in the past and live in the now, but you don't really know why you still do it. You don't know why your mind still makes you get stuck in who you were and get stuck with the people that we're a part of that past experience. And so what I want to make sure that we do today is to not just talk about why you need to move on, because you hear that all the time. You hear about why you need to move on all the time. But maybe if you understood why you get stuck in the past, it would actually help you to move on with your life and to be present and to enjoy enjoy the future. So hi everybody, thank you so much for joining. I see you. Thank you so much, all my TikTok crew. I see Paulina, I see Lisi. Thanks so much for joining, guys. I see Beatrice. Hi, guys. So we are talking about recovering from the past, embracing the freedom of the now. Maybe it is that you don't feel like you have anything to recover from, right? Maybe that's not you, but maybe you are seeing evidence that you are not letting go and moving forward. Okay. Maybe you're spending a whole lot of your time looking in that rear view mirror. And when you're looking in the rear view mirror of your life, all you're getting is what's back there. And you may not think you're getting what's back there. No, that's a trick, right? But if you're constantly looking in the rearview mirror and talking about it and dwelling on it, and just not just talking about it with people, but like in your head, your mind is just circulating the thoughts about what was and who was. We got to let go of that, right? We got to let go of that and move on and live in the opportunity that the now presents. So let me tell you about my tea now. So last night, girls' night out, I decided that I haven't been in Kingston, Jamaica for a little while, and so I was like, okay, there are lots of different things that have been happening in Kingston lately, and a lot of parties that are popping up, and there's this one place called Mystic Thai. It's really a restaurant. It's a Thai restaurant. I've been a few times. And they started having these parties on Friday nights. But I thought it was like a once a month thing. I think maybe it started off as once a month. And they would have like around 10:30, they start dimming the lights. And there's a DJ in there on the Friday, by the way. So there's a DJ in the restaurant, which is such a scene. Like, can I tell you, when I was in Dubai, and same thing in Vegas, I went to a restaurant in both places where there's a DJ in the restaurant. And if I ever were to decide to open a restaurant, I would have a DJ in my restaurant because it is such a vibe. And I'm not talking an elevator music DJ. I'm not talking proper DJ where you literally like dancing in your seat while you're eating the food because the music's so nice. Okay? So it's a vibe. So Mystic Thai is doing this thing, and I've been seeing it pop up, and my friends have been telling me about it, like, why don't you come to Mystic Thai? It's gonna be great, la la la. But I'm never on the island when they were doing it. Long and short, I was on the island last night, clearly, and so I decided to go to this Mystic Thai Friday night something. I don't even know what they call it. That's how new I am to it. I don't even know what they call it. I'm gonna have to find out, guys. I'm gonna have to find out what they call it, right? But Friday nights, if you're in Kingston, if you're on the island of Jamaica and you're in Kingston on a Friday, you want to check out the Mystic Thai vibe. So I go for dinner, right? Late dinner, like maybe 9. And I wasn't so much eating like big food. It was more like tapas and that kind of thing. So I went with my girlfriend and I had a really great catch up. And the food is good. The food is nice. So nice food, and then my favorite drink is the basil mojito. They make a wicked basil mojito. So my favorite drink is the basil mojito. I was fully in my basil mojito vibe, and having a really good time, waiting for the nighttime party to start. And then little by little, you see people trickling in. You had some early people that stand up over there early, but people were still eating in the space that you're supposed to be dancing. So I was like, okay, give the people a chance to finish their food, please. Can we do that? Anywho, so I was there chatting, laughing, having a great time. And I was actually talking to my girlfriend about never seeing my exes ever. Like, I don't really, I don't run into ex-boyfriends. I don't know what it is, except for one. There's one friend of mine. I mean, because he and I are still friends. And I like him. He's a nice person, genuine, nice heart, all things. But I'm not one of those people that runs into exes. It just doesn't happen for me. I don't know what it is. And I was talking to her about that. I was like, you know what? I even though I find myself to be a pretty social person, I don't necessarily go out partying, but I do spend a lot of time on the road. Wherever city I'm in, I'm pretty social. I'll go to restaurants and that kind of thing and hang out with my friends and have the wine bar or whatever. And so, maybe it's the places I hang out. I don't know. I'm not like on the trending spot, but I never run into my exes. So we were talking about that, and she was just saying that that's it's different for her, whatever, whatever, and we were chatting and having a good time. So party start now, and let me tell you, it was giving Ibiza, that kind of flowy music vibe, just really nice. You're hearing all of the good tunes, but it's not like dance hall, which, for me, I love dance hall music, but I want to be able to go to a nice vibe, like a nice outing, a restaurant or whatever. And I don't necessarily want to hear dance hall. I want a nice mix. I want pop, I want house, um, even country. Like I want it mixed up, right? And Mystic Thai was giving all of that. And when I started dance, place was empty. Place was empty. I was dancing up a storm. Fun, like just having a really good time. It's one of those kind of music vibes where you're literally dancing and you're jumping up and down. You're just jumping because you're not necessarily having a dance move. Your body just full of energy and adrenaline. And so you're just jumping, 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 jumping. Anyway, I was literally like that for like 2 hours. For like 2 hours. Oh my gosh. It was so much fun, guys. I can't tell you. And then to the point where you're in the line waiting to go to the bathroom, because there was a line waiting to go to the bathroom. Mystic Thai, since you're doing these Friday night things, just saying you need to put in more bathrooms, okay? Because you're having a whole bunch of people. It's not regular restaurant traffic. You need like at least 4 bathrooms. 2 bathrooms aren't cutting it. So anyway, go to the line for the bathroom and dancing in the line at the bathroom. It was just that kind of fun, right? And come back to know my girlfriend. And by the time we're looking 2-3 hours in, this is like right around midnight. Right around midnight, I actually saw one of the friends of one of my exes. And I was like, oh my gosh, is that him? I couldn't really make him out. Usually where you see one, you see the other. And lo and behold, guys, let me tell you, I'm a masterful manifester, I'm a masterful manifester because here we go. I'm telling y'all that I was literally 3 hours prior saying to my girlfriend, I go out and I never see my exes. We're having that conversation as a part of our girls' chat, except for the one guy that I'm always seeing. And lo and behold, here comes one of the exes. And this is one of the exes that, I mean, like, he was one of those guys, like really great guy, and somebody that you never quite break up with, you kind of not don't break up, but whenever you see him, you always reconnect and whatever. And I was like saying to my friend, I was like, oh my God, like I know I can manifest, but this is ridiculous. Like literally speak it out of mouth, and then 3 hours later, can money show up like that, please? Hello? Can money show up like that? Thank you. And so anyway, in Wax X, and this is what I'm telling you guys, I have to do this tea time stuff because I know that this stuff happens to you guys, right? So apparently he may have been there. I don't know. I just didn't see him until it was like late because I'd been there for a while. And I felt so good inside because there was just nothing there. There was no need to go over and say hi. There was no need to make sure that him see me. I don't even know if he saw me the entire night, like that the rest of the time that I was there. There was no need to anything. There was no attachment to seeing this person. In my previous life, when maybe I was not as wise, right, or didn't have as many boundaries around myself, or even beyond boundaries, just in a space where I was just happy and content with just me and not needing anyone else, and also knowing that I'm at a phase in my life now where this is not another full circle moment where you circle back around to that past person. Nothing against the guy now, great guy. He's out there doing him and whatever. Nothing against him. I'm just saying it was just a full circle moment for me because I was just really clear that there was no interest in a full circle back around. In Jamaica, they have a phrase that says, "Old fire stick, catch quick." And it basically means that when you have had a connection with somebody before, it's very easy for you to recreate that connection in your now moment, right? It catch quicker than if you just meet somebody fresh, somebody new. And I think that was kind of our story. I think that was kind of our story, just based on our past and whatever. But what it made me realize, guys, was that it takes a while sometimes for us to learn to let go of our past, even when we have all the evidence that shows us that it's time, right? We get stuck in feeling like we have to have our past experiences now. Still, it's like we can't let go of who we were, what we felt we needed, etc., etc. So that's the tea. I hope y'all got your coffee or your tea at this point. This morning, I am drinking ginger with lemon and honey. I'm not having my usual black tea because normally I would have like something with oat milk in it, or like coffee with oat milk, or like a chai latte. But I'm not having that because last night I was drinking basil mojito. So this morning I need to be kind to my stomach. I need to have something that's going to make my stomach happy. So we're having ginger and lemon and honey. So make sure you get your tea. So anyway, back to the story. So I see my ex over there, and when I tell you, I was having a great time before, but when I realized just how much my being had evolved, when I realized how much my being had separated itself from the person that I used to be, and the person that now knows that there's no need to circle back. I don't even need to say hi. It's not necessary, because that part of my life, I mean, maybe in another, meet up, like if I walk directly past him or something, sure, I'd say hello. But to go out of my way to actually try to get his attention and all, like old Stacy, yes. Especially since I was looking so good, guys. I was looking so hot last night. Can I tell you? I was looking really nice, really nice. But why do we get stuck in the past? Let's move on. Why do we get stuck in the past? Because it's a thing. It's something that happens. We get stuck in the past, and the past can be 24 hours ago. Some of you may have gone to the club last night and took somebody home with you, and you're still there like, oh, can this be my future husband or wife? You get stuck right away. Right away, you get stuck. Why do we get stuck? Why do we do that? Why do we look in that rearview mirror? We all have those moments where, we're either replaying the past, where maybe it's a relationship, like it was for me. You're like me, you may have run into your ex, or maybe you have a time where you have a regret, or a sadness about something. Maybe you're holding on to your past because there is a place of fear there, that you're afraid of letting go. You're not sure about the future, and you're familiar with the past. And that sense of familiarity is what keeps you stuck. It's what keeps you looking back. It's what keeps you holding on to the what was. It's what keeps you talking about it. And sometimes you think that you're not stuck in the past because you're talking about other people who won't let go of their past. But guess what happened? If you're talking about other people who won't let go of their past, you're stuck there too. That's a moment for tea. And so what you really want to do is you want to start to examine, maybe, why am I stuck there? Because sometimes if you don't examine why you're stuck in your past, it makes it hard for you to realize it. You don't have that awareness. And as we've talked about on Tea Time before, everything begins with awareness. So if you are living in your past and you're not even aware of it, or maybe you see signs, but you don't realize that this is a sign that I am living in the past, right? Maybe you don't realize it, and therefore you are stuck in it. And sometimes it's because you've had a failure. And because you had the failure, you feel like you need to fix it. And therefore, instead of accepting that you have failed and just deciding, I'm going to let the lessons that I learned help me to move on. Instead of doing that, what you do instead is you're just stuck there recreating more of the same failure, or just sitting in mediocrity, not really getting to the place where you can be your greatness, the place where you can actually become or stand in more of who you are, right? And that can be a failed relationship, or it can be a failure at work, right? It can be a failure at work where you are expecting things to shift. And it's a long time that, no, I needed to move on, whether you're moving on from the job or moving on from that client or moving into a different role. But you feel stuck in that, because you failed at it and you want to get better at it. You want to fix it, right? Sometimes it's a relationship failure, where you hoped to change the other person, or maybe you didn't think you were changing them, but you were hoping that they would change. And therefore, you kind of stick around just waiting for that, waiting for that, waiting for that, right? Or maybe you hold on to the regret of that failed relationship, okay? Another way that you may have maybe stuck in the past is that maybe you had a disagreement with somebody, or with yourself, about a choice that you made. And maybe there was some disappointment in that. And so you keep replaying it in your mind. Those are the ones that really suck. They're the ones that you keep replaying in your mind over and over again. And even sometimes when you decide that you're going to step away from something, because that can happen too, and this is another way that you get stuck in the past. That is a tricky one. You may not realize it, but maybe you stepped away from something, whether it's a relationship or a job or a situation, or you make a decision to shift, right? And in stepping away, when you step away from that thing or that person or that experience, you have regret about stepping away. And you keep thinking about it over and over again. So even though you have left the situation physically, mentally, you are still churning, you are still there, you're still holding on. And you may not think you're holding on, because maybe you're talking negatively about it. Maybe you're talking about how, oh, I can't bother with that person, or oh, I'm so glad I did this, or oh, I'm so glad. But you're talking about it, which means that you are still in it, right? So we really have to shift from the being stuck in it and the looking in the rearview mirror and transition towards wisdom. Because guess what happens when you learn to let go of your past? What you're also doing is you are accepting, you are leaning into the gems, the knowledge that you have gotten from that past experience that you can now use as wisdom for the future. This is just the tea I needed this morning, guys, after all of the jump up and down. A lot of people drink coffee after them go out the night before. I don't know how y'all do that. Like, how do you drink coffee? Like, I need to soothe myself. This is great tea for soothing. Mhm. So, transitioning to wisdom is what I'm suggesting that you do so that you can let go of your past, right? And what it looks like when you transition to wisdom is kind of what one of the authors that I read and that I listen to her affirmations and stuff, Florence Scovel Shinn, right? She wrote the book, The Game of Life. You should read it if you haven't read it. And one of the things that Florence says is, the walls that we build around us to keep sadness out also keeps out the joy. You got that? I think that is such a great way to say it, guys. The walls that we build around us to keep sadness out also keeps out the joy. And so, one of the things that we have to really look for or pay attention to in life is when we think about shifting from the past, we have to recognize that shifting into the future state, or into the transition into wisdom, transitioning to your now moment, is necessary. Because if you are really building up walls to protect yourself from your past, protect yourself from decisions that you may have made, or regrets, or negative self-talk, or any of that stuff, when you're doing that, what you're also doing is you're keeping yourself away from the joy that's in the now moment, as opposed to accepting the past, learning from it, and being able to be joyful in your present moment, right? So when you think about the freedom that is available to you when you let go, the thing I like about letting go of anything, is that it creates space. And space for me represents freedom. Okay. So when you think about letting go of the past, or not looking in your rearview mirror, but being sat right now in this present moment, it allows you to step into a joy that you really can't know until you experience it. People talk about joy in so many different ways. But for me, I think joy, a lot of what joy encompasses is living in the now moment and having a great and wonderful time. So, for example, let's say, like me, you go out and you're out having a great time, and then you run into, or you don't necessarily, come face to face with the person, but maybe you see your ex over there somewhere, right? For some people, it can ruin their entire nights. It can literally ruin your night. Like, you see the person, it's like, oh my God, my ex is here, my ex, oh my God. And you have to leave right away. You can't take it. And the stress. And you're driving home, and all you're doing is talking about all the things that were wrong in the relationship and da 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 da. That's you getting stuck in the past. That's not you being free and enjoying the now moment. Or similar thing, maybe it is that you left a job and you didn't leave in good graces, good spaces, you never feel good about it. And you go out to lunch and you see your old boss and you're like this, and you're acting like you don't see them. And oh my gosh, it's just horrible. And I just, and then you get all caught up in it. You have to call your friend, phone a friend, because, I'm out and I see my old boss and it was horrible. And I remember when I used to work there. You're stuck in the past. You cannot enjoy your lunch because you just run into whatever. Okay? So if you're holding on to that energy, it's not necessarily the person or the experience, no, it's the energy of that time, which you're no longer in that time. You're no longer that person. You no longer have that energy. If you're holding on to that, it is keeping you from enjoying the now experience. Now, can you imagine if after all of this time, I'm having this wonderful experience at at Mystic Thai. I've been waiting to go. It's a new thing. My friend sent it to me, and I've been just like, man, I can't wait until I'm on the island to go. Imagine I'm now finally able to go out. I haven't seen my girlfriend in a long time. We're catching up. I'm having this great time. Imagine if I was to allow something from my past to interfere with the joy that I was having in that moment. That would be just be a waste of my time, my energy, my opportunity to spend the present moment with my girlfriend, you know? So when you're holding on to the past, you can't keep throwing out the same energy and you have the same experiences. But when you focus on the now moment, you create new and exciting opportunities, returns. That's the energy that you're putting out now. And when you start to put out that energy, that same kind of good vibes, good juice is going to come flowing right back to you. So when I tell you, guys, it's like I was so happy when I saw my ex. Afterwards, when I realized it was him, I was like, oh my God, look at that. And then I just went right back to dancing. I just went right back to dancing. And I had the best time. It's like the time got better. The time got better. And it got better because I saw how happy I was, and I saw how much I had grown. And I just was just really pumped up about being in this now moment, experiencing this wonderful music, dancing and enjoying myself, and just my inner work, the work that I'd been doing on my insides, the work that I'd been doing on my mind, made it possible for me to not need to rally back to my past. That made me feel so good. And I know for many of you out there who struggle with past relationships, Maybe for you, it ended poorly. Maybe for you, you have bad memories. You don't have good memories, you know. And what happens is you step into a negative space about it and you can't let it go. And what I'm saying to you is that the first thing is you don't want to build up walls to keep out the opportunity for you to have good now moments. You want to break down those negative perceptions, the negative self-talk, any of the leftover negative stuff to that is there, that is keeping you in that space. You want to let that go, right? And as you're joining, you know, I'm just inviting you to make sure that you're following me and that you're dropping me a heart, because guys, I know that I'm connecting with you one-on-one on this. There is somebody out there who right now you are stuck in your past experiences. You are stuck wishing, wanting, hoping, waiting, can't cross seeing the person, can't cross hearing the name, can't cross all of those things because you are just in pain. You're still in the pain of the past moment. And that past moment could have been 24 hours ago. It could have been a week ago. It could have been a month ago. It could be a year. It could be decades, whatever it is. It's important for you to understand why you have this past experience coming up. Understand why you're still stuck holding on to it so that you can now start to step out of that. Recognize when your mind is taking you down that downward spiral and allow yourself to step away from it so that you can be in the now moment and you can have the joy of the now moment. Right? Now, I'm going to leave with you guys a formula that I put together that's going to help you with shifting from your past experiences. I thought about how I wanted to serve you guys today. There's a card in here in my deck of intention cards that is all about celebration. And I actually saw the card this morning because my yoga series that I'm doing a yoga challenge, and my series that I'm doing, the theme for today was actually celebrate. And I have a card that is all about celebrating yourself in the now moment. And I don't know if I can find it in the time that we have, but that was a card that I saw in my mind's eye when I was preparing for today's tea time. And I thought to myself, I wonder how many of us can celebrate our past. It's not even the now moment. How many of us can celebrate our past? This is the card, right? How many of you can celebrate and affirm yourself around your past moment? Okay, so the affirmation says, I choose to celebrate. That's what the intention says. All right, the intention says, I choose to celebrate. And it's a choice. You get to choose every day whether you're going to celebrate today or you're going to be stuck in your yesterday or your last week or your last 10 years. Okay, you can choose. And the affirmation says, I keep in mind and take the time to be joyous about small and big accomplishments in my life and the lives of others. Isn't that beautiful? So you keep it in mind, you're not just gonna just have it there and not keep it in the top of your mind. You keep it in mind that you want to celebrate. You're choosing to find opportunities and moments in your life to celebrate. This is exactly what I saw in my mind's eye this morning when I was coming out of meditation that I wanted to share with you guys, and there's a lot of beautiful cards in the deck, guys, 52 cards. So when you get your opportunity, you can always visit my page and get the link to the card deck, or just go to the card page on Instagram at My Epic Intentions. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to celebrate, because I chose to celebrate last night. Oh, can I tell you? And the celebration went on for a while. Okay. What I wanted to share with you, aside from the card, was that, you're going to have moments in your life where you're going to feel the past. It's going to be very present to you. You're going to be having the experiences of it. You're going to be, kind of feeling the impact of it. Yeah. And what I'm saying to you is You don't need to get stuck there. What you want to do is you want to lean into the wisdom that is available to you, because wisdom is what happens when you move beyond a situation and move forward. But you have to be the person that taps into the wisdom that is available for you from that past experience. So the WISE formula is the one that I wanted to leave with you today, because ultimately, if you are able to take the lessons from your past, if you are able to take the lessons from your past and use them as the key to enjoying your now moment, stepping into the freedom of your now moment, then you are a wiser person. You are a wiser person. Okay? So, this is what the WISE acronym is going to do to help you to move forward. Okay? So, the first thing is W. Write it down. Write down what is holding you back from the past. Write down what is preventing you from looking ahead, from experiencing the now instead of looking in your rearview mirror. Seeing it on a page in front of you will help to externalize it so you're not keeping it in your mind. I. I is to help you identify the lesson. When you write down this thing, reflect on what the experience that you have had taught you. How has the experience in your past helped to shape you as a human being now? What did you learn? How did you get better? How did you grow? What did you pick up from that experience that you would either take forward and use it again, or that you would leave behind and not use it at all? S. Shift your focus. So this is the part that usually people try to jump to this part right away. But the first thing that you have to do is you have to write it down. Then you have to identify the lesson. Then you can now talk about shifting, because once you externalize, you are now able to say, oh, I can move on from this. And so you can turn your attention now to the present moment. What are you grateful for right now? You know, I talk about gratitude being the antidote for every bad feeling. What are you grateful right now? So you shift your focus from the past to the present moment and what you're grateful for in your now moment. And then E, embrace the future. So you're not going to be trying to chase the future, but you are going to embrace the future. Visualize the life that you want and take one small step towards that life. Embrace the now, embrace the future, embrace the possibilities that exist, because you are now a wiser person having gone through the experience of that past. Let's say you're stuck in a past relationship, right? And you know that it's something that is not serving you anymore. And it doesn't mean that you're, guys, when I say, right, let's say you're stuck in a past relationship, I'm talking about whether you are still in it, like it's a recycling kind of vibe, or you have left the person, place, or thing, but somehow in your mind it keeps circulating, right? So write down why the relationship is troubling you. Write it down, write it down, write down the thoughts that you're having. Identify the lesson. Maybe you learned how to set boundaries, right? Then you shift your focus to the positive present moment. You know, now you are free to meet other people. You're free to meet someone better. Maybe you're already in another relationship. You're free to enjoy that person that you're with now. And then take a small step, right? Embrace your future. Maybe it's signing up for a new class, or taking your no person out on a special occasion, or going on a solo date by yourself to rediscover yourself, to step into who you are being now. Okay. I also want to make sure that in addition to the WISE formula, again, in addition to the WISE formula, which is write it down, identify the lesson, shift your focus to gratitude, and embrace your future. In addition to the WISE formula, I also wanted to leave you guys with a couple of affirmations. Choose to celebrate. Choose to celebrate your now moment. Choose to celebrate your past. A lot of us can't celebrate our past, We're vexed with the past. We're upset with the past. I am suggesting that you choose to celebrate your past because you are wiser because of it. You are better because of it. Okay? Other affirmations that you can use to let go. You can say things like, I release the past and trust that what is meant for me will find me. I'm going to say that one again. I release the past and trust that what is meant for me will find me. Another affirmation you can use. I grow wiser with every experience, and I am grateful for the lessons. I grow wiser with every experience, and I am grateful for the lessons. Ooh, I have one more. I am free to create the life of my dreams. I am free to create a life of joy and abundance in the present moment. And what you're free from, you're free from your past. All right, guys? So I want you to know that when you do that reflection, okay, and you look at what your inner world may have created in your past, you can see the lessons that were available to you, and you can let go of that, knowing that you have learned that lesson, and you can be grateful for what you were able to get from it. And you can move forward in the comfort of celebration, celebrating yourself, celebrating that you survived it, celebrating that you are better for it, and moving forward in your own greatness. Okay, guys? So that is my time today. Thank you so much for joining Tea Time. I want to give you a quick recap. We explored today why we get stuck in the past, and we talked about how to move forward with wisdom and with celebration. I shared the WISE formula with you to help you to shift from your past state and look towards the future so that you can reclaim your power and live in the present moment in a way that serves you. The past doesn't define who you are, guys. The past does not define who you are. It teaches you. And as you embrace the present moment, you get to open yourself to endless possibilities. All right. Thank you so much for joining Tea Time, guys. And remember to follow me on my TikTok channel if you're tuning in from TikTok. And of course, subscribe to me on my YouTube channel. You can always go to YouTube to get the full replay of these Tea Time episodes. Have a wonderful Saturday, guys. And I can't wait to see you on another episode of Tea Time, Saturday mornings, right here. Take care, guys.